magical treats taste great, but justice and equality taste better. To combat hate, all ad revenue from my HB Kitchen will be donated to trans and LGBTQ charities. Thank you for supporting the kitchen and helping make the world a better place. Mischief managed.
Hello witches, wizards, and those who have just escaped from Azkaban. Welcome to my Harry Potter Kitchen, the YouTube series where we're baking our way through the Harry Potter books, creating recipes for all of the food and drink that we find inside. If you missed last week's recipe where we served up a British classic sweet, wine gums with a Hogwarts House twist, then check out the link down below in the description to catch up. And if you're new to the kitchen and you want to see more, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell, and you'll get an alert every Magic Monday when there's a brand new recipe. We have plenty more magical treats on the way, so let's get to it. We're heading back into chapter 2 of the Prisoner of Azkaban, Aunt Marge's big mistake, for our next recipe. The dinner party is in full swing and we don't have to look far for our next recipe. They got all the way through the soup and the salmon without a single mention of Harry's faults. We already conjured up a beetle soup at the start of the series, so let's make something fishy. So last year during the Chamber of Secrets, we also found salmon, and I kind of cheated by turning that into a cake. So this year I thought we would really do a salmon-based recipe. I love to serve my salmon with a crumb top because you get that mixture of textures in there. So we're gonna take this one step further and make our crumb tops Hogwarts House themed. It is actually really easy, but the flavors are incredible. First things first, we need to prepare our fish, so let's get to it. To begin, I'm going to make a quick salmon marinade to flavour our fish. All you need to do is place your oil, lemon juice, salt, pepper, thyme and parsley into a bowl. To make sure the marinade is nice and smooth, I have finely chopped the thyme and parsley before adding in. Finally, peel and crush the garlic and then add into the marinade too. Stir this through until it's well combined. Next, it's time to prepare our salmon. You can get individually sliced boneless fillets straight away and then pop them into your marinade, but I find it's cheaper to buy a whole salmon side, and it's not that difficult to prepare it. All I'm going to do is place that onto a chopping board and slice into 4 even pieces. To get perfectly even slices, you can also trim off the edges, but don't throw these away. They'll go perfect in a fish soup. You can leave the skin on if you prefer, but I like mine skinless. Again, it's not too difficult. All you want to do is cut the skin at one side and hold it down with your hand while working the knife along the rest of the skin. Apply a gentle pressure and the salmon fillet should glide away nice and easily. Just keep checking as you go to make sure you don't cut too much off with the skin. Once all your salmon fillets are ready, give them a quick wash in some cold water before placing into your marinade. Stir through until nice and evenly coated, and then we're going to leave that to one side for at least half an hour. You can buy breadcrumbs in the shop, but they are so easy to make. In fact, all you need is some stale bread. So if you've got the ends of a loaf just lying around, that is the perfect time to recreate this recipe. We're just going to blitz those up and add in some extra flavours to bring our Hogwarts House inspiration to life. Of course, you don't have to use the ones that I'm using, but I found these gave the perfect balance of flavour that suits the salmon and our vibrant colours. Making your breadcrumbs is super easy. All you need to do is break up your bread and place it into a blender. I've used the ends of some homemade sourdough bread, but if you don't have any lying around, you can also use shop-bought bread. Just try to leave it out for about a day or so it's slightly stale. I'm also going to flavour the base with salt, pepper, garlic and lemon zest. Place the lid on top and then blitz through until it forms nice breadcrumbs. Next, you want to separate your breadcrumb base into 4 bowls, and then we can flavour them into our Hogwarts House inspired toppings. Slytherin and Hufflepuff are nice and easy. I'm just going to add in pesto and curry powder and then stir that through. At first this will be really crumbly, and if we use this on the fish it will just fall off in the oven, so we want to use some melted butter to help bind it. You want to add this in a bit at a time, checking as you go. Once you're able to press it down and compact it, and it doesn't move when you shake it, you'll know it's ready for your salmon. For our Gryffindor and Ravenclaw flavours though, we're going to need to re-blitz them because we're using whole sun-dried tomatoes and olives. You want to place these into the blender separately with the breadcrumbs, blitzing until smooth. These usually have slightly more juice, so they might be good to go already, but if not, you can also add in some extra melted butter. At this point, you can remove the salmon from the marinade and place onto a lightly greased baking tray. Spoon over your individual Hogwarts House flavoured breadcrumb toppings and then press them into place. I love recipes where we can bring out the Hogwarts House colours without having to add in artificial food colouring. You want to bake these into the oven at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 Fahrenheit for about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how well done you like your salmon. While your salmon fillets are in the oven roasting, you can move on to creating your sides, and one of the great things about salmon is it's so versatile and works well with a load of other side dishes. Way back at the start with the Philosopher's Stone, we created our Great Hall Feast, a roast dinner with all the trimmings, and we also did a Christmas dinner with lots of magical sides, so go and check out the playlist if you need some inspiration. Remove your crumb-topped salmon from the oven, and then it's time to plate up. The sun-dried tomatoes are really bold, just like Gryffindor's. The green pesto for Slytherin is super vibrant. The curry for Hufflepuff is subtle but will go lovely and golden brown in the oven. And the Greek Kalamata olives are the perfect hint of purpley blue for Ravenclaw. And with that, our Hogwarts House inspired Crumb Topped Salmon is complete. Well, now I guess we know what happens if you drop the sorting hat into the sea. And that is another recipe in the bag. You've been asking for more savoury recipes, so I hope you enjoy this Hogwarts House inspired crumb topped salmon. Let me know down below in the comments which one is your favourite flavour. That's all for this week's Harry Potter recipe, but if you want to see more from my Harry Potter kitchen, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell, then you'll get an alert every Magic Monday when there's a brand new recipe. It's dinner time for me, so I'll see you next week.